Hi everyone, so this video is going to be dedicated to what equipment I use and what apps I use to edit my pictures, especially answering the most asked question, how I change the color of my eyes on Facetune, and I will be showing you how I do that on this video. So the camera that I use to take all my pictures is a Sony A7. This is also what I use to film as well. I'll show you what the settings I use or what the settings are on when I take my pictures and film. Really nothing special. I just kind of change the soft skin effect and that's basically it. So for lighting, I use two lights. I use the Neewer LED light and I also use this Diva ring light Supernova. This is what I use when it's nighttime and it's dark and there's absolutely no natural light coming into my room. This is what I use. When there is natural light coming into my room though, and I do finish my makeup in time before the sun goes down, I like to use the LED light and the natural light itself. That's usually how I like my pictures to be taken, but lately I've been finishing makeup really late at night, so I had to use these two together. A lot of you ask me what settings I have my camera on. I actually don't mess around with the settings too much. I really just use the lights and they work perfectly fine. So that's basically it when it comes to settings. I'll show you, like I said, what settings my camera is always on. And yeah, so two lights for me personally because I find that the ring light alone isn't enough light and you can actually see like a halo from the ring lights on my nose if I have like a nose highlight, and it's a bit too much. So yeah, so I like to use two lights. I just plug in the LED light or put the LED light in the hot shoe adapter on top of my camera, and yeah. Alright, so now I'm just going to show you how I basically use my camera, the settings I use it on. Like I said, I don't mess around with the settings too much, so what I'm really just going to show you is how I would import it to my phone and the level of skin softening effect I use, because that's basically all I changed in this camera. So I've had this Sony A7 for a couple months now. It's what I've used to film, but I used to take in my Instagram pictures. Right now I'm filming this video with my Canon Mark II, which I used to film with before, but this is much easier to use when filming. So yeah, I'm just going to turn it on and go to the menu. So this is what the menu looks like, and like I said, this has Wi-Fi built in, so that's kind of how I edit my picture and whatnot. So now I'm just going to show you how I do this whole soft skin effect. So personally, I like the level to be between medium or high. There are different levels of soft skin effect. You have low, medium, high. Low if you only want a little bit, medium if you want a good amount, and high if you really want it to look absolutely flawless. So I always keep it on medium or high. Lately I was using medium, but I think I changed it to high recently and I haven't changed it. So that's basically what I do, and once I usually take a couple of test shots, and then if I like it, then I will keep it the same level. So how I would import it is I would go to my picture that I want. I would go to send to smartphone, select on smartphone, and then once that screen pops up, that means I'm ready to connect to the app and access all those pictures on my phone to import it onto my phone. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how I edit my photos now and what apps I use. So I have a whole folder dedicated to just photography apps, I guess, and Instagram obviously. So the first app that we're going to use is Facetune. I'm sure you guys know about that because a lot of us use that now. So I'm just going to open that up. So the picture I'm going to be editing today is going to be one that I took a couple days ago on Sunday, so probably a picture that I already uploaded. So let's just do the first one that I uploaded. So this is what the picture looks like unedited. I didn't do anything on Facetune yet. The only thing that's edited is my face. That's from the camera. As you can see, it's pretty soft. This is on high mode. I have glitter all over my face because of the eye makeup I wore. So when you compare the face to kind of like the chest area, you can kind of see the difference in texture. So I'm going to be smoothing out that area so it doesn't look weird. I'm going to go to the bottom tool, bottom left side of the screen, the one that says smooth. So there's a different type of smoothing tool. So there's smooth and there's smoother. Smoother obviously blurs it out a little bit more. So I'm going to use the smoothing tool for now, and I'm just going to basically drag my finger across my chest to smooth it out in areas that need to be smooth. So I like to zoom in and I like to zoom out. Zooming in and zooming out will help a lot because you can kind of see how your picture looks. So I want it to be a little bit more smooth, so I'm just going to smooth in the area again. Alright, that's good enough. So now I like to go under the eyes. I have a little bit fine lines here, so I'm going to take that smooth tool, but I'm going to go in with smoother now because this kind of just does the job a little bit faster. So I'm just going to go underneath the eyes a little bit and just drag my finger as well to kind of smooth it out so it's not as noticeable. Alright, so that's good enough. Sometimes I like to kind of smooth out like the lip area just a little bit, so I kind of dab it. So I like to tap it instead so it's not overly smooth. Alright, so I'm going to do probably the most asked question now, how I change the color of my eyes. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you are absolutely zoomed in to your eye, kind of so that it starts getting more pixelated. It's just so that it looks more natural when you do change the color of your eyes. So let me do that. So I'm going to go to the bottom right now to the tool that says tones. Tap that and there's a thing at the bottom right that says palette, and I'm going to tap that as well. So with the palette you could kind of choose what color you want to change the color of your eyes. This is the palette that I usually go for, and I usually stay on the left side over here. And I like to stay towards like the light or medium area. So I'm gonna pick a color over here. I never get the same color every time just because it's kind of hard to get the same color. So don't worry if it's not the same color every time, because whenever I edit my eyes, it's never the same color. So I'm going to choose that color and I'm going to press tones on the bottom left. And when you start changing the color, you want to tap and you don't want to drag. So I'm tapping the tones tool on my eye, which you could kind of see it moving a little bit. And you just want to keep zooming in and out to see if it's the color that you like, if it's light enough for you or not. So you could kind of tell the difference with lighter, and the right side is lighter, left side is my natural eye color. So I like to leave it like that because we are going to do more detail work and make that color pop a lot more. So I'll kind of show you on this side. Let me just erase that. So I'm going to show you on the left side kind of what the eyes look like if you end up dragging instead and don't do the tapping motion. So it's a lot more dramatic when you drag. As you can see, the color is a lot more vibrant and it doesn't look natural. I mean, if you like it like that, then by all means go ahead, but I like it more on the natural side, on the right side, so I never drag my fingers when I use the tones tool. So I'm just going to erase that. Zoom in and I'm just going to start tapping again. So you want to be sure that you zoom in and out so you know what it looks like from afar so that you get an idea of what it will look like when you do upload it. So I want it to be a little bit more lighter, so I'm going to go back and tap a little bit more. Alright, so that's good enough. I'm just going to hit the check mark. To really make that color pop, I'm going to go into the bottom left, the one right next to smooth. It says details. Now, I'm also going to use a tapping motion with my finger and kind of build that color up a little bit more. I know you can't see, which kind of sucks that you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm tapping my color and it's basically getting a lot more vibrant. So I don't know if you can tell the difference between the right and the left. It's a lot more sharper, I want to say, on this side than the left side. So yeah, so I'm going to show you what it looks like if you drag. So it's a little bit more sharper and more vibrant. So I like to keep it more on the natural side, like I said. So that's why I use a tapping motion. So I'm just going to erase that and tap. And that's good enough for me. So another thing that I like to do sometimes is I like to whiten my eyes with the whiten tool right there next to canvas in the bottom left. I'm not going to do that because you can't really tell. So this is pretty much good enough for me. What I like to do last is I like to take the details tool again, and having it zoomed out a little bit, I like to kind of tap around my eyes so that my eye makeup stands out a lot more. I'm going to check that off. If it's too detailed for me, I like to go and just tap with the smoothing tool, and it kind of tones it down a little bit. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go to the top right, save to camera roll, and now I'm going to go to Instagram. And this is the picture that we just edited. So I like to keep my pictures squared off. And now I'm going to show you how I edit on Instagram. I'm going to go to the wrench, I guess. And this is kind of what I do in all my pictures. I'm going to go to warmth, and I'm going to change the warmness down to kind of like a more cool tone. And I like to do that at -10. And then I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to pick the blue shade, which I'm not sure if you could see. Yeah, the blue shade right here. And I'm going to tap that again and lower the blue down. I like to keep it at 10, or if I want a little bit more cool tone, then I would do it at least to 15. I'm going to go to highlights now and pick the kind of like a medium blue shade. And I'm going to change that to 10 as well. And then I'm going to go to highlights, and I'm going to adjust it to 10. And I'm going to go to shadows, and I'm going to bring it down to 10. So the magic number for me is always 10. It's always like a good amount. So for Instagram, you could just tap it to see like the original versus the edit. So sometimes I don't like to use like a filter. Sometimes I do. If anything, I would use a slumber filter and go down to 20. Sometimes I would go down to 10. And then sometimes I use the 8-in filter, and I will go down to 20 or 10. So I'm not sure if you could kind of tell between the 20 and the 10. Doesn't really look like that much of a difference. But I'm gonna stick with the 8-in actually. I'm gonna go to 20 on that. And then you could compare. This is the edited. This is the original. So I like a more cool tone look, I guess. Then I'm gonna go next, and then write down my caption, blah blah blah. And then I'm just gonna upload it. But I already shared that picture, so anyway. So that's how I edit. Okay, so that's basically it when it comes to editing for my Instagram. I guess some other apps that I use as well is what I would use to create these type of photos. The layout app, which comes with Instagram, which is this one right here. It's really cool. You could like mirror it and flip it. And then for my product pictures, like this one, I use VSCO Cam and Snapseed. And then I just upload it to Instagram. And that's basically it. But if you have any other questions regarding how I edit or any other like camera questions, then feel free to comment on this video down below and I will be sure to reply as soon as I can. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you liked this video because it was highly requested and I thought it would be a good idea to answer some frequently asked questions when it comes to equipment and whatnot. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and be sure to subscribe if you would like. And that's it. Thank you.